ARK Survival Evolved, a game where you are a survivor, trying to survive surrounded by dinosaurs for 100 days. I am also doing this in hardcore, meaning if I die once I lose everything. But you wanna know something funny about this intro? You thought you were watching a Zany Zebra video.
Ha! Got him!
Well then, welcome to my 100 days video. Now, a lot of 100 days creators would just defeat bosses, right? Well, in my version of this, I'm taming everything on the island. As always, I have to say this video was inspired by the legends TheNotable and Zany Zebra for bringing this idea to shine. Anyways, let's see if I manage to survive and tame all the island creatures. Day 1 started off fresh by me making TameLegend, and then heading over to the Quetzal Explorer node, since I wanted to do a Noterun to progress much faster than I normally would. So while we watch the old me do his Noterun, let me explain how this adventure is going to go. In the first 100 days I will tame all the island creatures, for 200 days all DLC creatures, and for 300 days all variants, being X, R, Tech and Aberration. Now what I specifically classify as a variant is when they have something in front of their names. So let's say a Lightning Wyvern is not a variant of the Fire Wyvern. It would be the variant of just Wyvern, but that doesn't exist, making all Wyvern variants DLC creatures. As for the Tech Triceratops, it was just released on Genesis. But since Tech is in front of its name, I classify it as a variant, not a DLC creature. For 400 days I will then finish up the series by taming the Titans. And please like this video and smash the living essence out of that subscribe button, because I can see this series becoming a very big one with you guys' support. Without it, well, things might be cut shorter. But there are some rules to the challenge. Rule number 1. No usage of the harpoon gun. I don't like that it's one of the best strength weapons and that it has the net gun. The net gun would ruin everything, since I could just go up to something and net it. Without the net gun I would have to think of new and creative ways to tame things. Rule number 2. All DLC creatures must be tamed on their specific announced map, meaning that griffins must be tamed on Ragnarok, or that I can't tame a Carcinos on Crystal Isles. And now rule number 3. Unmodded ARK. Yes, you heard that right. I am playing without mods, making it even harder. Rule number 4. I am not allowed to use any kind of taming videos. Original trap designs and original ways of taming only. The Noterun went on to day 2, and I learned a lot of necessary engrams, such as flak armor, the crossbow and the fabricator. And after that I got some basic stuff. But I didn't want to stay here. If I wanted to tame everything, it had to be somewhere close to a lot of different biomes. It had to be safe for tons of creatures, and close to a lot of ores, woods, stones, and close to beaver spawns. So on day 3 I started my journey to find a high-level Pterodon. Okay, I am... And I found one at the rocky parts close to Hunter Cave. I decided to tame it. After all, the island's levels only go to 120, and anything above level 60 is a high level for the island. When I had enough tranks, I looked for it, knocked it out and got keratin from low-level turtles for the saddle. And I also got crystal out of Hunter Cave to craft a spyglass. Day 4, and the PT awoke. And it's nice to ride these again instead of using tech to get around. As I ventured further in the jungles I came across a very high level Spino. So I set up a crafting station right here on day 5 and prepared. Okay, guess I also killed an Raptor. Level up my peat. And I got metal. Also, little interruption. I made a new Discord server, where I have active enforcement and I'm personally very active. Yeah, join it if you want to. Would make me happy to chat with my community a bit. Okay, on day 6 I ventured out to loot some nearby drops. And after that I returned to the base. Now, you might have been wondering, why are the days so extremely short? I mean what, we are on day 6 and only like 5 minutes in? Well, my daytime and nighttime multipliers were on 2.5x, making one day and one night last exactly 10 minutes each, making one day 20 minutes long. Okay, enough scrambling for now. After putting wood and metal in the forges, I crafted trank arrows, placed down my smithy, took an amazing green drop, and tried to tame a low-level dire bear.
Yeah. Come on, bear.
After that fail I crafted a crossbow on day 7 and looked for a parasaur. When it was knocked out, I left to craft its saddle. But I didn't want to give up my search though. So I crafted a slingshot and tried again. Once it woke up, I gave her the saddle and went to the base again to collect the nearby bushes for narco berries. I also gave her a very nice name. Nope, since Genesis Part 2 my naming skills have not gotten better.
Fluffy.
After that I placed down a campfire, and on day 8 I killed a few nearby dinos for meat and started crafting the trap. And I also got narco berries for narcotics in the redwoods. And it was time. Time to set up my trap and hopefully lure the Spino in.
Okay. Trap's done.
I had to act swiftly. I knew a design which would work, but I had to be fast. I crafted a new design and placed it down, and on day 10 I tried it out.
This thing is not dying from a trim crossbow, is it?
It went unconscious on day 11, and I killed a nearby Diplo for Prime to feed my Spino. And while waiting for him to wake up, I went on an all-out taming spree.
That was fast.
Doesn't it just look awesome tracking all of them? I then escorted the horde to the base and tamed a deer on day 12. I also looted the beaver den and crafted the Spino saddle. After that I realized I needed a cryopod to get him out, so I got the materials needed to craft one. When I had enough things I went to a nearby drop and crafted not one, but 2 cryopods, and I cryoed my Spino. At the start of day 13 I then gave him his saddle and took him for a ride. This mass genocide lasted till midday, but I then found a raptor that I decided to tame. And I became level 100, woo! I also knocked out and tamed the Styla. You know what is actually a fun challenge for all of you viewers? Try to count how often I say tame, taming, tamed, yeah, anything that has the context of taming. And tell me it down below in the comments. And after that quick pego tame I got everything to base, and I crafted a trough, placed it down, and filled them up. After that I also tamed an otter. Day 14 started off good by naming the Spino Gojira, and by taming an iguanodon, and then a saber-tooth. Day 15 then started with me having the urge to tame an Argentavis. So I crafted a trap out of wood. Trust me, you will see why I used wood instead of stone. Got keratin, hide and fiber for the saddle, and I got a little distracted.
No. Oh my.
And then a tragedy happened.
No, please spawn. Did it?
Yes, very sad. Anyways, it is now day 16 and it's time to tame the Argent. No, never mind. After that quick Carno tame I then crafted Tranks. Day 17 and I finally went to look for an Argentavis on the nearby mountain, also known for Metal Mountain due to so much, well, metal for being there. When I arrived to the top, I placed down the trap and I lured the Argent in. And then I knocked it out and found a different Argentavis to kill it for Prime to feed the other one. Does this count as cannibalism? I don't care. Now this name is obviously a reference. BAM! When I cryoed him I flew around a bit with my PT and looted a drop that was literal garbage. On day 18 I uncryoed Bro! Gave him a saddle. I also upgraded my armor set. Looking good there, legend. Anyways, I needed some better tranquilizers, and for that I needed spark powder to craft into gunpowder, so it was off to breaking rocks. Damn, that's a lot of spark powder. Next up, I really needed an Ankylosaurus to do some metal runs. So at the dawn of day 19, I set out to look for one, which I found right here, freezing in the cold. Alright, time to sleep. I then picked some nearby bushes for meteor berries, when we got attacked.
Oh shit! That's a wolf.
I took care of the wolf and then set up some spikes to prevent that from happening again. And
No. No.
anyways, the Yankee awoke and I cryoed him. When I flew back home, I found another Alpha Raptor. So I uncryoed Gojira and gave her a free ticket to heaven. On day 20 I crafted the Anki saddle, renamed him, cryoed him and went to the Redwoods mountain to do a metal run. Obviously to get metal for days.
Why not do the proof now? Salt. Wait, they're seriously over in Q.
So I went into the Redwoods to get a few explorer notes on my Argent, but I got distracted by a lion hanging on a tree.
You're not fooling me. Oh shit! I take it back. I take it back. It's completely dead. That. It's completely dead. It's completely dead. Why am I stuck? Why am I stuck? Oh. Please kill this. Please. Please. Why am I stuck? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. This might be my bad. This might be my bad. This might be my bad. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, please. Please. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
It was not my death, but I sure got a jump scare there. So anyways, I took my Anki and ran back to the pathetic base. And then I crafted a fabricator. The next day I repaired my flak and converted the spark powder into gunpowder. I also took my trike to destroy some bushes to craft narcotics. I then saw a yellow drop touching down nearby, so I took Gojira and headed over there. Oh hey, some horses! I mean, waiting for a drop is kinda boring, so I picked a few bushes and tamed a horse. But mid-taming I got a bright idea.
I know a way easier way to tame all of these. And it involves me using architects to take one, drop it in a box.
Yeah, this is big brain time. I found her again on day 22 and did my big brain move. The horse was still scared though, so I headed back to base to find out something very nice. And things got even better when I saw the horse was calmed down. In the late evening that day I ate some chips and tamed the horse. Day 23 started off with getting the horse to base and crafting narcotics. I also took a screenshot from the ARK wiki and made my taming list. After that I lured a wild Sarco over from the swamps and into my trap. There, your life has a new purpose now. Stand around and be useless.
Not even big chunks, no fat chunks.
On day 24 the Sarco awoke and I looted a not too bad yellow drop. I also found a max level frog, which I decided to tame. I then cancelled this racer's life subscription and fed the prime meat to my frog. Once tamed, I cryoed her and uncryoed her at the base. Day 25 started off by taming a Microraptor. And by killing some Hesperornis for polymer, which I could use to craft more Pokeballs. So the rest of the day was spent flying to the green obelisk. Once there I managed to craft 9 cryopods. Now I can really catch them all. On day 26, I found a very nice level stego. And why do I still have to say this? Okay, I injected its body with arrows filled with poison. There!
Let's go. Nice.
Next I picked a lot of berry bushes and fed my stego. I also set up a defensive perimeter with wooden spikes. And I guess I tamed a dodo? Anyways, with the perimeter set up I flew up to a nearby mountain and found something terrifying.
Holy shit.
The next day I also tried taming the smaller stego knockoff, the Kentrosaurus. But it looks like he was suicidal.
That's dead.
Fine then. Not like he just wasted 30 trainings or anything. So my stego awoke and I cryoed it. But instead of bringing it home, I uncryoed my Spino and swam to Carno Island to kill a few alphas for better gear. But before that, I looted this drop. Days 28 until 30 were all spent eradicating life on the island. So play some action music and commence the time lapse.
Another all. Mecha sphere. Giant monkey sphere. I came looking for gold, and I found diamonds. Diamonds. Let's go.
Day 31. Yeah, I forgot to record day 31. Day 32 and it looks like I got back to base and crafted a ridiculous amount of tranks. Well, next up on the list are the creatures in the Arctic. But first I tamed a nearby Paracer. The Paracer awoke on day 33, and on that day I tamed a second otter and looted the yellow circle drop.
Okay.
Day 34 and I entered Russia. Time to take away its creatures. Starting off with this wolf. And now I'm just putting this day until day 38 together, because of how similar they are, being how I enslaved the wildlife in the Arctic.
Ah, it works. Bacon boy! Bacon boy! Bacon boy! Oh, it's a girl. Please. That should just walk over. Ah, yes! Yeah. I mean, yes, you can say it. Hey, did you seriously forget about me? No! What? There was... It's not losing oxygen.
And on day 38 I flew home, satisfied with everything I got. Day 39 started off with me taking the stego out to get all the narco berries in the world. which I obviously used for more narcotics. I then had the grand idea of using my Kairukus in a polymer farm, but I soon got distracted.
Ooh.
Yeah, after literally dodging that thyroid like a god, I wanted that Megatherium. So the next day I made a reusable billboard trap, and attempted luring the Megatherium in.
Let's go!
When the sun was setting, I also found myself another pet. And at the start of day 41, I found Winnie the Pooh. Then I took a trip to the swamps and beat a Baryonyx into submission. And then this Capro, which almost got killed. I also got big boogered. Yeah, I guess today was another one of those taming spree days. At the start of day 42, I introduced the new members to the gang. On that day I also had Swargs. Yeah, this guy right here. Watch a private livestream and help me name all of my current creatures. That day and day 43 were both spent naming. I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
No, Spitty boy. No, Spitty girl, because that's a boy.
Fat hat?
Yeah. I like the place that you live in.
Yes, it's very easy to tame stuff because like you have mountain there, mountain there, another mountain there, where there's a giga here. You have swamps there, redwoods here, and you got like this massive river with like no, not yet. I will call it the boy red Kermit like that.
I will make you sleep.
Poggers.
Daddy's works get polymer.
What did he say?
But the next day I decided to run the Cave of the Clever for some loot and the artifacts.
Maybe the
Down there I also abducted a dung beetle.
I will just.
On day 45 I left the cave and decided where I wanted to go next.
I will go to the Hunter Cave now because Megalosauruses and Megalania can spawn there.
On day 46 I looted this yellow drop and arrived at the Cave of the Hunter. Now the next few days, so day 46 until day 50, I'm putting together again, because that's how long I was taking away the wildlife in the Hunter Cave.
Look at that! Look at that!
Ooh.
Do you see what that is? Hiya!
Bees.
Hey! I might actually.
Oh shit.
No, no. Oh god, this is scary. This works. Go into this.
Into the
It went over it!
Okay.
Hey, I knocked it out.
So when I got a Mogus.
No, my flag! Bots.
And once the spider lost interest in me, I fed it. After that I was done with the cave and flew home. That was also the end of Swark's visit. Goodbye, my friend. Day 51. Already halfway through. I started the day off by repairing my flak pieces and my crossbow, which used a lot of precious metal. So I had to do another metal run. But I guess I got distracted. Who's laughing now, game? Nothing will kill this Kentro. Oh, never mind, guess I spoke too soon. On day 52 the Kentro had some more unwelcome visitors, so I deleted them from the files with my crossbow and spike wall. I also tried to knock out this giant lizard, but it chose beef with some smaller lizards and lost. Pathetic. The Kentro awoke then, but it had even more visitors. At this point he's more famous than me. Lol. After that I found a glitched out aloe pack, and so I abused this to tame one of them. And on day 53 the high level one went down to the ground. After that I flew back up, took my Anki, cryoed the now tamed aloe, and flew to the scrawny base. Then I put the metal in the forges and took my stagger out to harvest wood. On day 54 I put the wood in the forges and ignited them. Next up I started the construction of a functioning penguin polymer kill zone. Now there sure are better ways to make this, but I don't watch tutorials to make my videos authentic and original. So yeah, the building alone went on to day 55. But I mean it works. Kinda. After that I flew to the Redwoods Mountains on my Argent to tame a duty. My advice for taming these is to aim for the head and tail, because they get reduced torpor on the shell. I also put a spike wall down around it. After it awoke on day 56, I also instantly did a stone run. After flying back to base that day I realized there were a lot of water tames still to get, so I took my Spino out to get organic polymer to craft scuba gear. The duck massacre went on to the next day. I also crafted the rest of the set that day, and saw a nearby low-level Dinosaur, which I decided to give a new life's purpose, and that's having no purpose at all.
Oh, it's knocked out.
While waiting for it to awake, I did something kind of gruesome.
Bodies. Yeah, it was very satisfying.
Sorry, what now? Piling bodies onto each other and then disposing them is satisfying? Damn, you're a psychopath, legend. At the start of day 58, the giant turkey awoke. Back at base, I then saw all of my crafted narcotics and scuba gear, and realized I was missing a Mosa trap, made from 3 behemoth gates and 2 behemoth doors. So you know what's about to happen next? Farming montage! Good montage, yes? The day after that I saw a yellow drop touching down and AFK next to it? Alright then, let's head to the ocean already. On day 60 I reached the corner of the map and descended down into the deep. And you see this beautiful ocean in ARK? Doesn't it look lovely to swim in it? Well, I'm quickly interrupting this video to showcase that our oceans look a lot less lovely. It's a polluted mess that's destroying the ecosystem more and more each year. Well, today I'm providing a solution for that. Remember Team Trees from 2 years ago? Well, Mr. Beast, accomplished by Mark Rober, are back at it again with a brand new TeamSeas project. This time they're working together with a bunch of non-profitable cleanup organizations to get 30 million pounds of plastic out of the seas. But how can you, the viewer, help this cause? Well, if you go over to TeamSeas.org or click the link for TeamSeas down in the description, you will be led to a site where you can donate money to clean up the oceans, rivers and the beaches. Each single dollar removes 1 pound from the oceans. The project will go on till New Year's Eve. So we have 2 months time to get that money to donate for the cause of cleaning the oceans. I remind you again to go over to TeamSeas.org to donate. Even a single dollar helps, and let's get back into the video.
Oh wow, we already found a Mosa.
So I got rid of the few annoying eels and placed the trap down. Now comes the fun part, getting Mosa into a trap. Now when I said fun, I meant the opposite. Mosas have a crazy big turning radius, are fat and faster than Gojira. After a lot of unsuccessful attempts, I got him in.
I'm pressing E. And it's trapped.
So I went up for air again, and then down again, to just see that the Mosa glitched out of my trap. So I had to repeat everything again. Luckily I managed to trap it without wasting too much time. Day 61, I then proceeded to knock it out, but I didn't want the same mistake to be made again, so I cryoed my Spino. I then uncryoed the Spino and went up for oxygen. Then I killed some Megalodons for prime meat and fed the Mosa. I then saw a lonely angler in need of a friend, and my army of slaves are more than enough friends. On day 62 I killed another shark and fed my Mosa some more. I also tamed an eel with biotoxin. Then the angler awoke and I used him to get some silica pearls. The anglers are the best at getting them. After cryoing the angler, the Mosa was almost done with the taming. So I sat, well, floated in the water next to it and watched. I then saw the Loch Ness Monster, aka a plesiosaur, which I lured in the trap, knocked out, fed and waited. On day 63 I then found a cute, passive tame whale, which I fed to make it my friend. Oh yeah, in the meantime the plesio awoke. I then proceeded to tame 2 ichthys at the end of the day, but then I realized I didn't have enough cryopods, so I put the other one on wandering and aggressive, left to fight or die.
Go, aggressive ichthy. Go.
Day 64 I then tried to get a manta ray, which took a turn for the bad very quickly. And after finally getting the manta, I saw a Dunkleosteus. I didn't choose for violence with it. No, I chose submission. And it didn't seem to care. It tanked the shots like a champ.
Dunkleos are actually my favorite fish. Like my favorite aquatic thing from ARK.
And the day after that, it had joined my aquatic gang. After that, I left the seas and entered the lands to see a red drop with a circle touching down. Yeah, they really are legends. After that, I dashed back home with Gojira, put all the new loot in the fabricator and repaired the flag pieces. I also got a Tapejara saddle and flew a bit with her. Or better said, I wasted the whole day because I was just flying around. I even went to the upper northeast mountain to check if the Giga would still be there. On day 66 I returned home and looted this drop. Also, guess I crafted gunpowder. Nice! Anyways, remember the thick log next to my base? Well, I was scared a wild dino could go through it and kill the horde, so I crafted a seal for it. I then wanted a safe haven for all of the aquatic tames, so days 67 and 68 were spent farming. Raw. And I did a dino wipe. Now, on day 68 I placed down 1 behemoth gate, but I then realized something.
I need more behemoth gates. I need like 2 more behemoth gates.
Oh, I just went back to base and put it on the to-do list. Day 69. Ha, nice. Now, on this exact day, in an alternate universe, I tried taming a Giga this day. And lost everything! There is no alternate universe. I had to reset 69 days of taming and lost all of this. Those were 30 hours of recording lost. Okay, enough Vietnam flashbacks. That day, I saw a beautiful level 100 Thylacoleo. Well, I chose to tame it. And oh boy did things go chaotic. Roll the clip.
Imagine if we... Oh god. Okay, I might be dead now. Everything is happened, everything is happened. Follow me! Please fly! Fly, are you... No. Go! Oh god, I am almost dead as well. Please! Oh god, now I have to think. Run. Run! No! 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 You dumb bird! Please.
First the Giga, then the Thylas. If I had reacted differently in any case scenario, both me and the Argentavis would have died. But I lived. I took my Spino out, furious and filled with vengeance, and killed the low-level Thyla, and enslaved the high-level one. After knocking her out, I went back to base and repaired my flak. Again! Then I just waited next to the Thyla to get tamed. And there we go. On day 71 I then remembered the to-do list and crafted another behemoth gate. While getting the materials for the second gate, I stumbled upon an unlucky terror bird group. The following day I got the terror bird home and crafted the second gate. Now all that remains are 2 doors. So I got stone with the 30 and wood with the Megatherium. The day after that I actually crafted an apprentice long neck rifle. And some bullets along with it. And then I turned the bullets into tranq darts. After that I then finally built the giant water cage. And on day 74 I uncryed the tames. I then also placed down 2 feeding troughs and filled them to the maximum. At the end of the day I swam to Carno Island on Gojira. The next day I found a Rex, in a somewhat safe area. So I knocked it out while having the high ground and fed it. I also wanted to complete the cave on that island, being the cave of the Devourer, hopefully for some sweet cave loot drops. On day 76 I exited the cave and just looked at this beautiful tribe log. So, you might have seen this actually, but I was trying to change the graphics of the video quality along the recording of this video. As you can see here, I even turned on color blue and tried to increase my resolution scaler. But on this day, when I headed to Carno Island to loot it, I also put my recording software's video file from quality to max quality. And my PC kinda... well, it's kinda freaked out a bit. Yeah, a crash. As simple as that. And then when I rejoined again, and again, and again, I went the same way up the cave. Killed the same enemies and relogged on the same exact space again and again. If I hadn't known any better, I would have said the CBA certainly didn't approve of my actions. After that sketchy bit of crashes and bugs, I was back home at the start of day 77. And this right here is the current taming list. Then I crafted grapple hooks and flew around with my PT in search of a Diplodocus. And while feeding her, I saw something amazing.
I'm so lucky. The game didn't just spawn a Quetzal there. The game just spawned a Quetzal.
So after taming the Diplo, I also tamed an Archaeopteryx. On day 78, I cryed the Archie. And it's time. Time to get the Quetzal.
Ah. Let's go. Actually, I need this one. Let's go. Just like that. Is it knocked? Wait, did it get knocked? It did get knocked! Okay.
And that's how you solo knock out the Quetzal. I then uncrowd my Argent and killed some Hyaenodons for prime meat. At the start of the next day it was this Pecky Rhino's turn to be knocked out, fattened and joined the pack. And this duck right here as well. Which I did by killing fish with my Spino and dragging it to him. Which took insanely long! Feeding literally took until day 80. On that day I have no idea what I was doing. Oh yeah, I tamed the second Parasaur to get fertilized eggs to tame the snake and Oviraptor. Now I remembered. On day 81 I also got a Bronto. While the Bronto was eating, I also took some honey from a beehive and fed a Mosscrops. Nice! I also had a little fight with an Alpha Carno near my base. Hashtag style matters more than stats, am I right? No, absolutely not. Now my dear watchers, a little question. Have you noticed how I keep getting more and more Thylas? Well, if you read the names carefully... Yeah, you saw that right. I wanted to use Thylas to tame Trudons, and later figured out how dumb that idea was. So on day 82 all I did was get Trudons into the big cage. And the next 2 days were just farm. I did a metal run, crafted some things which included a ton of gunpowder, and on day 85 I whistled all the Thylas to follow me and began the sacrificial ritual. Or so I wanted it to go. Turns out the next 3 days, yeah, 3 of them were spent trying to get this thing to work. My notes literally say, Trudon taming failed, wasted 1 hour of your life. Rest. Just these Trudon's AI is so stupid. I'm ready. Yes.
Wait, no, you went to neutral!
No, Brian, that is wrong. No. Day 88 was actually pretty chill for once. I mean, this Gallimimus got stuck between my dinos, so I did what was necessary with it. Then I took a look at my taming list and contemplated my life's choices. Anyways, I then looked for a hyena, which after finding one was taken into another de-aggro trap to pet it, which at first didn't work, so I was extra hyped when it did. I knew it! I knew it! Yes! Let's go! At this point I realized the days were too fast for me, so I put night and day cycle speeds on 1.5. Making one day 25 minutes long, and a night 25 minutes long. Making a total day 50 minutes long. That should help me enough. Alright, let's get back to the video. Now that I knew how successful the de-aggro trap was, I wanted to craft one more for one of the last passive tames. This flying bat! But at the morning of day 89 I saw a Pelagornis, which was going to be added to my collection. And then I saw this spawn from hell. So I killed a fish and fed the little demon. The devil awoke not too late after that, so I cryoed it and started my search for Polovia, which I found right here. Obviously I knocked it down and fed it. But while waiting for it to be tamed, I watched the most dramatic wild dinosaur fight ever. It's crazy. Oh, this is epic. Okay, level 40 against 104. Oh, the Spino's taking heavy damage. The Carno's the Carno's showing its first signs of blood, watch out. The Spino's being very bloody. It's eating its spine out. It looks like the Spino's losing. The Spino's the Carnotaurus is chasing it. The Carnotaurus is chasing it, the Spino's extremely bloody. And is the Carno going to go for the kill? Is the Carno going to go for the kill? Or is the Spino going to fight it back and get the win? Is it going to get it done? The Carno can't get a hit in. The Carno can't get a hit in. This is very close, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the Spino won! Then I traveled to the blue obelisk and saw the king of melee damage. But I wasn't yet ready for it. So instead I got the exact opposite of a Giga. This! Day 90. Yeah man, 10 days left to go. I would say I felt happy, but truth be told the stress of taming these last creatures was really getting to my head. And to add to that stress, my sleeping Bronto was starving and losing HP. Basically things were going absolutely terrible for me. So anyways, I started the day off by refilling the feeding troughs and collecting more Parasaur eggs. Then I cryoed my Megatherium and went to the Cave of the Clever once more and placed the bat cage down. Then I lured them in and sealed the box. But I couldn't wait for them to de-aggro. So I left the cave, went to the redwoods and approached this giant monkey, which by the morning of day 91 became my slave. After that I proceeded to fly around the swamp for 35 minutes in search of Diplocales. Not because they are rare or anything, but because everything wants to murder them. I mean, just look at how sped up this footage is. Eventually my luck came back and I found one here. I then fought a Sarco and crowd this ugly beast. Then I found an Oviraptor and well, you know, basically the rest. At the end of the day I also found a Titanoboa in a very safe spot. So I flew over it and dropped my fertilized eggs onto it. Because that's how you tame an overgrown snake, I guess. Day 92. I headed home and uncrowd our new friends. Up next I took my PT to destroy beehives, but none of them spawned a queen when they were destroyed. I guess what happened was that the Dino Wipe command also killed the bees inside the hives. So I used the spawn command to summon a new hive. I mean, how else would I get the queen? Up next I used my spawner to one-shot the hive to free the queen, which I was able to feed with some rare flowers. Now that I had my very own beehive, I made a room for it to be in. Then I put rare flowers inside the hive and that's it. I have my very own jazz-loving bee. Up next I needed to get sweets, veggie cakes and beer. So yeah, more farming. I hate farming. So let's skip that and show what I made instead. It's day 93 now. For the cakes I needed 3 sap, so I made 3 taps and this small platform. Next up I placed down crop plots and made a watering system. Then I fed my fat chunkus stickberries to make her have the worst day of her life. After that I planted the crops and fertilized them. And finally I placed down the beer barrel. After all of that I went to the cave again to see if the bed calmed down a bit. Which it did! So I obviously tamed it. At the evening of the day I then returned home in the most epic way ever. I'm not risking it. Day 94 I returned to the deep blue abyss on my mouse had to get myself a TeamSeas. There he is. Now if you don't know what this means, it basically means into death. But not for me. Only 6 days. I'm not dying that close to victory. When I exited the water and flew home, I actually told my Discord server that I was struggling a lot with taming Trudons. And they recommended actually using baby Spinos. So on my way back I found a female friend for Gojira and tamed her. I then unclaimed my Thylas and eradicated them. On day 95 I then got 4 more forges and lit the fires. Then I put the ingredients for beer in my barrel and headed over to the volcano to search for an Australian runaway, also known as a Procoptodon. After taming that I headed to the snowy mountains one final time to tame the last knockout tame. Which... what a nice day. Braw! Braw! Ding ding ding, cluck, pew! Braw! Clucky, ding, pew! Here ya go! Yeah, anyways, I hope that was a funny change of the usual boring method that you watched more than 100 times already. So, the kickout was mine on the morning of day 96. I also found a sheep there and abducted it. Then I also took this Trudon away from its home and into the box. Next I took a few baby Spinos in there and started the sacrificial ritual to taming an otter. What? An otter? No, a Trudon! Yes! Back at base I crafted a cannon and placed it on my Quetzal. You'll see why soon enough. But first of all I flew out in search of a giant beer-drinking monkey, the Chalicotherium. The morning of day 97 I chose violence for each living creature in the river. Why? Because I needed tons of hide for the Titanosaur saddle. Precisely 4,000! Day 98 started off by me taking out my frog to kill a few bugs for cementing paste. And by getting honey, because we only had 3 more tames to go! The Achatina, or also known as the snail, the Lepleurodon, and the big man. A Titanosaur. After retrieving the honey I went for a search and rescue mission. Or should I say search and enslave mission. On day 99 I went to the deep dark Arctic seas one final time. In search of the Loch Ness beast, which I found right here in the rocky overhang. The process of getting it to eat honey was quite frustrating, since it kept nibbling on my mouse and was faster than my flippers. But it mattered not. Yes, I did it. I swam around with it for a bit, but quickly realized that it was just a waste of time. So I uncrowded my mouse and left the Lepleurodon to die. After all, you only have them for 13 minutes in the When I returned home, I crafted the Titan saddle. Day 100! We did it! We survived through suffering, peril, and a whole lot of near-death experiences. I just wanted to thank you, my viewer, for watching my journey through all of this. I know it is a very long video and yet you have seen all of it. Thank you so much. But we aren't done yet. That day I took to the skies on my Quetzal to fly one last time to find a Titanosaur. And then it was time. That was the right copy part. Yes. Fine. Yes! After that I marched the Titan home, triumphant, satisfied and relieved, knowing that I completed the Taming Everything challenge. Anyways, those were 100 days of taming everything on the island. Subscribe, like and all the good stuff. Can we manage 2,000 of them? Who knows? But this series has just started. Next up, 200 days of taming the DLC add-on creatures. Goodbye! For now!